What's up, guys? This is Four Guys in a Bar. We about to get this show started. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, Trey Smith and everything else that's going on. So with that said, let's get right into this intro.
First round pick. Hey, throw that list away, all right?
Why are we around?
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From Mahomes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby himself.
Chiefs Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MBS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
There it is. There it is. The MVS comment will live in infamy for the rest of my days doing this podcast. I'm your host, Nick Athan, with ChiefsBlitz.com. This is Four Guys in a Bar, again, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, alongside my partner, Mr. Hense Todd, producer extraordinaire. Got the green cap on today. Got the psychedelic earphones going on.
I'm ready to go, man. It's a lot of news to get into. The combine was great. I seen some, the guys run, you know what I mean, looking for the wide receivers or, you know, the cornerbacks and everything else to get going there as well. So everybody know who my guy is. I'm looking for Savion Williams to see what he does out there. So with that said,
Right.
Hey, let's get right into our sponsor before we get this show on the road.
All right, let's roll.
Play now in Missouri. If you're looking for a great fantasy game, we've teamed up with UnderdogFantasy.com. You can play $5 and get $50. You can use the special promo code Chiefs Blitz. The game is available in 33 states. Check out the availability map. You must be 18, 19, or 21 years older to play, but it's an outstanding game. The app is very simple. You can deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash for new customers, and make sure you use the Chiefs Blitz code, and so you can register to start playing this amazing game. Play Pick'em on Underdog. You can, with all your favorite NBA players, James, Curry, Ball, anybody and everybody who's in the NBA, you can play higher or lower. It is an amazing product. It's very simple to use. If I can do it, anybody can. And just make sure when you log on to UnderdogFantasy.com, make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That's right. Make sure you use that code Chiefs Blitz. You can see here all the states that are available. Obviously, it's available in Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri. It's an amazing game. We have a lot of fun with it. We appreciate Underdog for being our sponsor. And again, use the promo code Chiefs Blitz. They got some specials. They got some free stuff that they throw up on there. And you can do NBA, golf, all sorts of sports. But you're going to love it. And we all do. Right? Yes?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, the other members.
Hey,
Mr. Lou
there
Montagna.
we go. Now we can talk. Hey, what's up?
Coach,
Happy Friday, folks. Let's go.
And Coach is with us as well, Andre Tillman.
going
Gentlemen,
on?
welcome to a Football Friday. It's not Red Friday anymore because there's no Chiefs games. But certainly a lot of news buzzing. I think I wrote 4 or 5 articles yesterday and posted them on ChiefsBlitz.com, all the news that was in rapid fire succession yesterday. But I've got a big show today. We're going to break down all those things for you guys today.
So with that said, thank everybody for joining in. Thank you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Hey everybody that's joining in today. Hey, if you're joining in from X, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel.
Yep. Need subscribers. Appreciate that.
Do alerts as well. This way you won't miss any shows. I mean, we're pretty consistent with the times, but we had a bonus show yesterday, right, Hensley?
Yeah, with me and Mango.
There was a bonus show yesterday, so you'd get alerted to that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it pays to subscribe and click on alerts.
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Spence, Ken, Ruben and Ruben. Appreciate you guys coming in, joining us again, guys, for a little bit of shit talking and festivities, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot to cover out. It's a lot that's gonna be covered out your mouth talking the nonsense.
James said the intro was fire. He loves the intro, man. He said the intro was heat. Yeah, absolutely. Especially the one with MVS.
Yep.
Yeah, MVS.
Yeah, I'm gonna live that
MVS
forever.
should watch the show, but I know
I had no say. I had no say in that portion of the intro.
That's what it was.
I've made so many great comments, and the one that you guys use is the most embarrassing.
But still the best, but not so much the MVS part of it, but the timing of the guy just coming in right behind saying your best Chiefs analysis.
Your best
Yeah.
Spot on, man.
Give me shit. It's all good. I've had one of those days, man. I tell you, it's all good.
It's all right.
Just pile it on Nick today. Just bring it on.
Don't worry about Nick. Nick loves
Wolves have been flying since I woke up this morning. It's all good.
He loves some MVS, man.
He might be back. You never know.
Hey, he could be. You never know.
To hell with that. To hell with that. Nope, we don't need that shit.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's get right into Factor Cap. What you have for us today, Lou?
All right, gang. Right off the top, it's Friday, so you know what time it is. It's time for Fact or Cap. That's right. This is the portion of the show where I'll read a couple of made-up statements. You guys can weigh in whether it's fact, cap, or any comments you want to make to that extent. So let's start right at the top. You've been hearing more and more lately teams allowing players to search out their own trades, which is kind of curious, the whole process of it. We just saw it recently with Matthew Stafford. And of course, I think that basically got him a better deal with the Rams, right? So it was really good for the player. But we have seen in the NBA a lot of big trades, big stars moving. I mean, Luka moved recently, KD, Butler a few times, AD a few times. Statement is this: it would be great for the NFL to be more liberal in moving their stars. It would be great for the NFL to be more liberal in moving their stars. Fact or cap, Hensley?
I would say fact. I have to agree with the statement. I agree. You know what I mean? You got to, move them around. Hey, like Myles Garrett, if he can come over here and join the Kansas City Chiefs, so that'll be a
nice,
fact,
wouldn't it?
Until that day comes when Patrick Mahomes requests a trade.
God, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Wait. We got a new stadium. Nick? We got a new stadium to build. You can't go yet.
What do you say, Nick?
I'm going to say fact. Yeah, I think everybody.
Who would you like to see move? Like somebody that just outside of the guys that have already requested, but just a random one.
Boy, that's a good question. Well, I mean, I like to see T. Higgins come to the Chiefs, but
okay.
I think it would be interesting if one player was left unprotected off the 53-man roster outside the quarterback, for teams to be able to have a bidding war on for that one player. I think that would
like the antithesis of the franchise player.
Correct.
One guy's going to be up for bids, right?
I would think that'd be a lot of fun, because I always thought it was unfair with baseball when they did expansion. You could only protect a certain number of guys, and a lot of really good players went to some of these teams. Right. Go back to when the Florida Marlins came in. I think they put together a great team. But I think that would be kind of fun,
hockey did that as well.
Yeah.
I think, the NFL did too for several of those teams where they had the expansion draft, but there wasn't any like great players unprotected.
No, it was like, keep 45 and, basically it's your game day guys you keep, but that'd be fun.
All right, Coach, who's moving?
I'm going to agree, man. Well, Myles Garrett. I would say Myles Garrett. I will go back. Myles Garrett is a stud. Hell yeah. Myles Garrett, man. That's the guy I want the Kansas City Chiefs to get. If it was like that, they can't. I prefer.
So you
Myles
think
Garrett.
It would be good for the league for these guys to kind of move around a little bit?
Hell yeah. Go out there.
It'd certainly be good for the players. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think people that buy season tickets would probably be a little pissed if
guys
started leaving their teams.
Muscles on that dude.
It would certainly be more interesting for the GMs, right? And I think you have seen over the last few years, as the GMs have gotten younger, that you've seen more player movement. Now, it's not like the NBA yet, but that's kind of the mentality that they've been taking with the younger GMs, is that they're a little bit more aggressive and willing to make trades. So hopefully that continues, and it makes, this time of the year even more interesting.
Right.
All right, let's go to number 2. Here we go. Let's the chatter begin. The statement is this: Travis Hunter will be a better version of his coach, Deion Sanders.
Hell nah.
Hensley, fact or cap?
I would say the jury is still out on that. So I would say cap.
It's a prediction. I mean, certainly not at this point, but yeah, I mean, just if you look into the crystal ball, strike up the cube, whatever.
Even Deion is laughing.
I don't even know how to answer that question. I would say I'm going to say cap, but I'm not. I'm of the opinion, and I was watching football during the Deion Sanders. He was good, but he wasn't amazing. He wasn't great.
Oh my gosh!
No,
what you mean, Nick?
no.
Who was better? Who was better?
No,
than Deion?
he got
Who was
burned.
better than
He got burned to a crisp so often, and it was that flashy style and the fact that he returned punts and kicks. And
where's Mango at? Mango,
he's good, but I mean, I wouldn't put him as one of the top 10 cornerbacks of all time. No way.
We got to roll film on that. I want to see Deion getting burned on the regular.
There are plenty of instances.
They rarely threw at him.
Hey, clip this, but hey, clip this, man. I can't believe you said it.
I'm not.
No, but honestly, I do.
I love him as a coach and the fire he brings, but as a player,
what the?
Not top 10 in my book.
What? And so Nick, real quick. So who was better than Deion though?
In a very small minority, Nick.
Just give me one player.
I don't know.
Just give me one player.
There's a lot of really good cornerbacks from the olden days that I would take. I'd take Emmett Thomas. I'd take Kevin Ross. Just two Chiefs. I'd put him ahead of Sanders.
Lou, shaking your head. Lou, what's up, Lou? Do you agree?
That's very generous to those guys. I mean,
I have to really think about it, and I'll tell you what. I will prepare.
Emmett was a great player. I think you'd have to. I mean, guys like Champ Bailey, maybe Darrelle Revis, but I'm not saying they're. I think they would be like just a notch below.
Ken said Darryl Green.
Darryl Green, sure, but again,
Darryl Green was
a notch below. There's just Deion was just a different dude. Go ahead, Coach.
You
kind of said it, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said cap because listen, Hunter is cool, but Deion went against legendary wide receivers, Hall of Famers, man. And right now in the league, you don't see a lot of that. But honestly, I don't know what Hunter can do, so I get that point too. But hell no.
I think Dale Carter was a better cornerback wide receiver than Sanders was.
Oh my God. Okay.
He talking. Hey man, what?
Not from the cornerback position, but when he played wide receiver.
We're gonna make a new intro and have everything he said in it.
Hell yeah. You gotta put that one. I'm editing that one.
You guys want me to bring the energy? I'm just having some fun today.
Nah, you bringing the energy. You sure is bringing the energy. Shit, you bringing the energy today. He in the top. Come on, he in the what?
I will give you 10 guys who I think are better on Monday's show.
Who's the 10 guys that's better than me?
I will put my list together for Monday's show.
Okay. We need to flip Coach's box and Nick's box because I think Nick is really lobbying to have that Coach's corner there.
I think I moved up, Lou. I think I moved up, Lou. I think I moved up.
Hey, up is down and whatever. Dogs and cats living together. My God, Muhammad Ali. He was just a tomato.
He was an average puncher. He was an average puncher.
I'm gonna say there's a good chance he is, and hear me out.
Come on, go ahead.
It's a long way to go. I mean, obviously, but if he is able to get the reps at wide receiver, depending on where he goes, in terms of football. Now you can't. I mean, Deion played baseball in the major leagues. I mean, that's otherworldly stuff when you start playing two major sports. But in terms of just a football player, I think he has a chance because I think he would be a much better receiver than Prime would ever be. And I think he could get close to the coverage skills. So I'm leaning him with a fact on that one. So there you go. All right.
That's the only one.
All right, here we go. Number 3. The NFL is adopting this Hawkeye system for measuring first downs. Now, this is already in place in the English Premier League in soccer. Major League Baseball uses it. The NBA uses it. Major tournaments in tennis use it. Basically, it's a bunch of high-speed cameras all around the field, and it tracks players, refs, and the ball, right? Statement is this: the Hawkeye system for measuring first downs will actually cause more questions than give answers. Hence, fact or cap.
I would say cap. I think this system they're gonna put in, I think it'll be way better. Everything is getting more technical out here. So if they can use the system out here and it won't have no questions, nobody saying, no fans say, hey, he wasn't over the offense.
Exactly. I agree.
You won't have the Bengals fans crying, talking about,
cut the noise with the Bengals, man. We ain't do nothing to y'all. We ain't do nothing to y'all.
You won't have nobody
you
crying.
can't beat us either.
You won't have the Buffalo field fans
shout out to the strikes.
Josh Allen didn't cross the line, so I feel like this will be
it'd be wonderful.
I think benefit.
What are your thoughts, Nick?
Boy, after my last thoughts, I'm not sure I want to comment on this one. couldn't have got a more updated image, huh? Had to do the darker times in the world. All right. I think it's going to cause some problems initially, but here's what's going to happen. The Chiefs will be at Buffalo for the AFC Championship game. Pat Mahomes will do a rare sneak, and it will be called on the field as not line of gain, and the replay will show the line of gain, and everybody's going to be upset. That's exactly what's going to happen this year.
All right.
I like the new system. I like it, man. More detail. You can see it. More detail.
Is it more questions than answers, or what? You gave us a scenario, but I mean, what, like, overall, do you think it's going to cause more havoc? Or
I think initially it's going to cause more havoc. That's just it'll take some time to get it'll take a season to get adjusted to it.
Okay.
What do you think, Coach?
I'm all for it. Let's go. I'm all for it, man. From every angle of the backside, every angle of the backside, you're gonna see everything. From the cracks to the derriere, you're gonna see everything. We gotta see in detail. You know why? Because it's too much complaining. It's too much complaining now.
I'd rather complain than see derriere. That's
right down to the derriere, man.
All right.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, I mean, they still have to spot the ball. Now, can it see, if the ball crosses, the guy gets knocked back? So I want to see it in action. Evidently, they did use it in preseason last year. Don't really pay that much attention outside of Chiefs preseason games.
Did they really? Honestly, I don't remember.
So there must have been something that they weren't real happy with or whatever. But to me, like, especially like on a sneak or a tush push, whatever, how is the camera going to capture like the quarterback in the middle of all that massive humanity to see where the ball actually goes, right? So I don't know, maybe they'll explain it, but we'll see. But it certainly will, it's going to bring up a lot of questions to me. I don't know if it's going to be more questions than answers, but it's certainly going to bring up a lot.
You got to hit on every angle, Lou. I like it. More cameras, especially with the tush push. You got to really have better cameras when it comes to that play. So
well, that's what I'm saying is when you've got the quarterback, he's like inside a bunch of tackles. You got your inside tackle, you get the guards, the center. I mean, everybody's like in a pile, and to me, I don't know, how is the camera going to penetrate all that to see where the ball was? But there's got to be something that they can show us, or otherwise that's usually the ones. I mean, the obvious ones normally is fine. It's that one where everything is like congested. How do they know where to spot the ball? So. Anyway, all right, that is going to do it for this week's
Very interesting Factor Cap. That's for sure.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for Nick to make it a kind of a controversial Factor Cap.
Yes, he did.
And,
Nick don't believe in Dion, man.
We'll turn it into another segment for Monday.
I didn't say I didn't believe in him.
Nick's top 10 corners.
My top 10 cornerbacks of all time. I will give you that list.
I'm with you, Nick. I'm giving my top 5 corners too. Since you're going to do that, I'm going to join that.
Not going to include one Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders will be number 11, but I'll do my top 10.
Jesus.
Okay.
God damn.
We're talking all time. You're talking about 50, 60 years of NFL history here.
Shit. Okay,
there were some AFL guys that were pretty damn good at the cornerback position.
But you know what, Nick? I'm gonna give you this one. See, Deion brought personality to that position.
Okay,
That's
he
what
did.
It was.
He brought he brought
some glow to it. Now he brought
first player from college that brought spirit, passion, just that fun-loving, just in-your-face style. Great athlete, good baseball player, good football player. And he brought personality, and he brought it at a time when the NFL needed a face. He was the face. It doesn't mean he was the best player at his position. It doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, because he certainly does.
Just not your top 5.
Just not in my top 10. He's number 11.
Not even
He said top 10.
11.
I would love to see this list.
I'm gonna count the AFL. A lot of AFL guys that didn't get a lot of respect, and they were really good.
Sure. I mean, there were guys. I mean, Willie Brown was one of the all-time best. Emmett certainly was one of the all-time best.
Willie was so fun to watch play football, as much as I hated him with the Oh man.
So Lou, do you agree with that?
Guys.
Do you believe Deion's not do you believe he's a top 5 guy, or he is the guy, Lou?
No, I mean
we'll leave that subject.
It's hard to
Right.
quantify, but I would certainly have him in my top 3. And he's probably 1 or 2, more so 1. But
fair enough.
That's all right.
Maybe I'll change my mind and I'll sneak him in at number 10.
Cap brought to you by our friends at Underdog Fantasy Sports.
So with that said, let's get right into what's the plan with the offensive line. Trey Smith got tagged yesterday. The guys, what does this franchise tag mean for Smith? Luke.
Well, it's kind of a placeholder. It's giving the organization a little bit more time and his representatives to pound out a long-term deal. They certainly don't want him on the books for 23 or 24 million, whatever it is for this year. So they want to spread that out a bit, and I'm sure they want to keep him for more than 1 year. So that's kind of it in terms of what Trey Smith's franchise tag means. The interesting part to me is these, the whispers earlier in the day that they had worked out a 4-year deal, worth somewhere between 90 to $95 million. Whatever it was, which sounds like what they would like it to be, or what the player might like it to be, but obviously it wasn't a done deal. Now there's some time. I mean, they still have
till
time
Tuesday
to actually wait to place the tag. I don't know if they've officially placed the tag, but that's kind of the report. So yeah, it buys both sides a little bit of time, especially more so the Chiefs, because they don't want him getting the free agency. So.
Oh, that's what that tag means. There's a lot going on with that tag. So they tag him, make sure he's gonna go shopping. You know what I'm saying? So
well, his agents are gonna go shopping, if the Chiefs give him permission to. But for right now, their hands are tied. They can have conversations at the what if scenarios at the NFL Combine. It is my understanding, I do have a little scoop on this, that the Chiefs and the agents for Trey Smith have spoke since the rumor came out that the franchise tag was going to go on. As far as Pretty Ricky's comment about a 4-year deal, for those who don't know who Pretty Ricky is, you can probably watch some of our older shows to figure out who we think it is.
That's right.
But apparently he got his phone back and he's back out in the yard. But at the end of the day, I think very simply, you're going to have to look at this like the Chiefs wanted some leverage. Patrick Mahomes seemed very happy that Smith was going to be here this year. And I believe Smith wants to return. I think it's going to be closer to a 5-year deal, probably be pushing that 100 million barrier. But the offer the Chiefs initially had was a little bit shy of the top rated guard pay in the NFL this year. So why not place the tag? They're going to carry that number. They have the cap space. They're going to carry Travis's number. So they really only have 2 decisions to make on their cap. And I think that's why they decided to place it on Trey Smith. I think if you asked me yesterday, Hense and I talked, I thought, man, maybe they're going to trade him. But now I'm leaning more toward, I think the Chiefs are going to give him a contract. I think they're going to work it out.
Right.
They should.
I think they should, I think they should trade him. Right. If it was me, I'm going for my opinion. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm trading them, get more picks. So you already drafted Kingsley. I slide him over there and put him right there, get more picks or send him to Chicago or something like that to get, them 2 second-round picks and get more players. Because it's some good players coming out this this draft as well that on defense, and it's some other guys that coming out on offense as well.
There's some Titans coming on the offensive line. There's some Titans coming out.
Again, I'm 50-50 with it. I'm between keeping them, or letting the kid get his money.
So basically, what you're saying, you're kind of like mild, neutral. You know what I'm saying? You kind of like in that range, huh? Lukewarm with it, huh? You lukewarm, huh?
Lukewarm, sir.
Okay. Well, it's no secret that the Bears would be interested, and it's also no secret that Ryan Poles and Brett Veach probably are pretty tight. And I'm sure they've probably had different conversations, or perhaps just kind of intimating what they would be willing to give if they were going to trade him. Yeah. It would have to be a pretty massive haul if they were going to do that. The franchise tag right now, as I understand it, is a complete offensive line franchise tag. It doesn't delineate from center to guard. So the franchise tag has already made him the top paid guard in the NFL right now. So I'm assuming that if they do hammer out the deal, it would be a little bit below what the top guard is making. But, with guarantees and everything else, it would be a great deal for Trey. It'd be a great deal for the Chiefs because now you get to keep, a homegrown player that you've developed into an all-pro, and he gets his money and he gets a lot of it up front. So win-win. Win-win for him. So with that said, man, hey, let's get into some of the guys that the Chiefs meeting with, man. I know it's, it's one guy that's on my board, Gordon from Oklahoma State. He's some.
That's crazy. Really, Gordon? That's crazy.
I didn't know that. You're an Ollie guy? Oh, interesting.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I
never knew.
You know today, sir.
That's right.
So, the gold jacket is being sewn.
Yes, it's being sewn as we speak.
It's going up. It's blowing.
When are we going to get your all gold jacket team?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're just gold jacket team. We're very early in the process.
Yes,
we're very early in the glaze.
Whatever, Drake. Yeah. So with that said, how would y'all think? Do you think he'll fit in the Chiefs uniform? You think he'll be a good fit for the Kansas City Chiefs, Coach Drake?
Talking about Gordon?
Yeah,
he would. I mean, he's physical, he's tall, physical. I definitely like his upside. But I don't know though, Bo, for real, because it depends. Is he a third down guy? Like, what do he bring to the table? It's like
he's a third down guy. Just give him the ball.
Third down guy.
Give him the ball.
I don't know, man. I gotta see if he a good blocker. Can he block for Mahomes?
He can block. He can do it all.
Okay.
He doesn't have Jamal Charles speed, but he can do it all. Now he didn't have a great, his 2023 was a better season than 24, and I think Lou mentioned something that had he come out, early. He probably would have been a pretty high draft pick. And I think for me, watching him play, reminds me of Kareem Hunt quite a bit as far as the way he moves with the ball, the way he catches the ball. Again, he's got really good speed. And he's got enough breakaway speed to make some really big runs and to get in the end zone. But on third down, if you need a swing pass or, you need a key run, he's going to fight for those yards, so he's got some bulldog in him, and I think it'd be a great fit. And Mango pointed out that Devin Neal's only met with 2 teams so far, and he may be available in the late rounds at this point. And I think Devin Neal would be
face.
Yeah, Devin Neal would be a perfect fit for the Chiefs too. I'd be good with Neal and Gordon as my 1-2 backs next year. I think and have Carson Steele back there as a thumper. I would love to see that kind of rotation because I think the Chiefs need some speed at running back. And I love Isaiah Pacheco. I really do. I just think as a running back fit for this team, I don't know, man. I don't think it's a long-term solution.
It just run to walls sometimes.
You can't run into the walls, man.
You can't run into the walls, man.
But anybody who watches Gordon on film, you can see, he's got something too that you have to have. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of drive. He understands what to do on the field. He doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. And in Andy Reid's offense, you can't make mistakes. We've seen what happens when you make mistakes. You go to the bench. And again, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Lou? 3rd round, 4th round, maybe kind of guy? I don't think he's going to go with 2nd round or
it's a pretty deep group.
Yeah.
So the fact that,
I agree.
Again, I mean, people are saying, well, the running game's coming back. I don't know that it really went anywhere, but there's several guys, like 1st round guys. I think you got Genty for sure.
Yep.
The kid from North Carolina's got a pretty good shot. Right. But then you've got a handful of guys that you talk about. I mean, Gordon's in that group. CJ Harvey from UCF, who was one, Woody Marks from USC. Now there'll be a little bit later, but there's a guy that maybe a little bit off the radar that he looked pretty good at the Senior Bowl. I remember him during drills. I didn't get to watch all of it, but there was a few days where he kind of stood out. Good pass catcher, real patient runner. I think so. That would be good for you, Nick. I think you'd feel much better about that.
Patience.
So, again, the Chiefs don't. It's not like a very specific run game. They run some zone. They run some things that are kind of like duo blocks and they run power. So, I mean, you got to be very versatile. And I think anybody that shows those skills. So if they are looking for a running back, this is definitely the year to do it. And to answer your question, I certainly think Ollie Gordon will be available in the 4th round.
Yeah.
I think that if he's there in the 3rd, with the Chiefs 3rd round pick, I would take him there. He's a physical kid. Even though they met with him at the combine, I'm trying to see. I want to see what he's going to do with the drills, the running backs, see how he performed there. Then I think
that's the other piece of it with the running backs not working out until tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of time. These guys are just getting, maybe they're just getting into their meetings with teams and so forth. And it's like speed dating. They get 15 minutes. Guys are coming through. I don't think there may be a few guys that they're kind of focused on if they really need to see them face to face. But those 30 visits are always big too. So that's where they get a little bit more time with a kid, half a day, whatever they need. But I think he would be fine because the lack of depth at that position right now with the Chiefs. I don't know that P. Ryan is coming back. I think Carson Steele was only a 1-year deal as a UDFA. We don't know Pops. I mean, this will be his 4th year. This is his contract year. So I don't know if they see him as a long-term solution. So if they do take it back, then that kind of gives us the answer.
Right.
Hey, Ruben got a good point. Ruben said that running back has to be versatile in this offense, and that's a good point because I was trying to figure out what kind of style of a running style for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, what is it? And Nick was referring to different power runs. They do a lot of zone runs. I'm like, so basically, you got to be versatile, like Lou stated. It's like you got to find your runner that can do all.
You got to have Jamal Charles, Kareem Hunt in his early days kind of player.
If that's the case, it's going to be Henderson from Iowa State, number 30.
Well, that would be Henderson.
Yeah, he's my favorite running back in this draft.
Yeah,
because
I've had a mock to the Chiefs twice with that bonus 3rd round pick. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be there, but that's just the way it fell. But
he'll be there in the end of the second.
No, it was a one. I don't want to say he's a 1-year wonder, but he really only had 1 year of big production as Caleb Johnson from Iowa. There's another guy that you have to say is going to be in the mix of that third.
The
fourth,
last
fifth
1 year
round.
production winner for the Chiefs was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So we got to be careful. I want a guy who's done that for two or
Nick, good
two or
point.
three
We don't want
years.
your last year. We want you
I want a guy who's been consistent for 2 or
There you
3
go.
years. That's
There
why I
you
love
go.
Devin Neal so much and Ollie Gordon so much, is they've been consistent year in and year out. They make
I like
plays.
that. I like that.
I don't want a guy who's
that.
been a flash in the pan because he either transferred to a better school or had really one great year. I don't think that's enough of a measurable for me. You know, but they fell in love with Clyde, and at the time, everybody thought it was a great pick, including me. And you know, he got hurt his rookie year, and he was never the same player.
Except I was so mad.
You were mad?
Okay, yeah, I was mad. I wanted Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor was sitting.
Of course, we wanted Jonathan Taylor.
I was like,
Taylor would have been the choice for sure.
Taylor, even DeAndre Swift. I mean, at that time, it just seemed like those two guys just had a lot more speed, and that would have been, you know, a better, you know, kind of a better fit. But that the only thing is about a Chiefs running back and what we've seen is that it's never going to be a featured part of the game. Now they'd like to have somebody explosive back there, but it's never going to be. I mean, it's Patrick's team. You want the ball in Patrick's hands, so. That's the only part where you see these kids, not that they have any control over where they're going, but they know if they come to the Chiefs, they're going to have a great chance to win. And just when you get your opportunity, you got to make it happen because you're not getting 20 carries a game.
And you got to be versatile. Now I'm starting to understand who the Chiefs are for real. You just got to be versatile and just you got it's the Andy Reid way. The Andy Reid way. So
speaking of versatile, the Chiefs also met with tight end Elijah from Miami.
Arroyo. Yes, please. He's my new stand on the table tight end for the Chiefs. Listen, Travis is coming back for 1 year.
Highlights I said,
I did like the highlights. This guy's got speed. He's got hands. He knows how to play. He'd be a perfect fit for what the Chiefs are trying to do. He'd get to work with Travis for a year, gives Jared Wiley more time to kind of, you know, get back from his ACL tear, which is going to be probably back in probably late September, early October, as far as being back on the field goes. But I mean, this kid is he's an athlete. Now, you know, could have said this for some other tight ends that I thought were really good coming out of college and it just kind of became duds. But I don't think there's any question, and no disrespect to, you know, 50 Shades, Noah Gray. I think they're gonna want to have 2 or 3 tight ends they can count on. And I think Arroyo, with a year to work with Travis Kelce, could ultimately be the guy that becomes that replacement piece. And then you have Noah Gray signed for 2 more years. And then Wiley, you know, I look at Wiley kind of like as a Justin Watson type. You know, he could probably play some outside. You could put him in the slot. He's got a lot of talent. I think he's going to be a great player for the Chiefs. But I don't know. I think they could just move these guys around, and I would love to see the future.
You said a lot of talent. What you mean a lot of talent? And my man even
Hence, did you pull Jared Wiley's gold jacket?
No, I didn't.
He's still wearing it? Okay. All right.
I'm saying Justin Watson has a lot of talent. I'm just saying.
Well, it's another depth position in this particular draft. I mean, the D line, very deep. I mean, that group yesterday was, I mean, to me, now again, it was the first group. So it was like, okay, you're trying to get your feet wet, whatever. But the bottom line is that may turn out to be the most impressive group of the entire weekend.
Yeah, well, they were.
Just by looking at them. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to draft somebody just based off of the combine, but there were so many guys that were just a height, weight, speed. And just the other thing is, if you're watching college tape, is that they may be being asked to do certain things. In this case, you see them being able to be a little bit more athletic, and you're like, well, geez, you know, if the defensive coordinator say, well, we might be able to do this with him or that with him, a la Zach Bond with Fangio. He was a down edge guy,
right?
And I still say I keep comparing him to Leo, and that I think that's like Leo going to be next year, but we'll see. But the tight end position, this Arroyo kid, he didn't get a lot of stats at Miami because it was more of a 3 and 4 wide receiver set. But again, he was another kid at the Senior Bowl that just looked the part, was able to catch everything that came his way, was really quick, had the wiggle, the whole thing. So, and there's at least 8 or 9 tight ends that you could say that about in this draft. So if they're really targeting the position or they think they need depth, they may, that might be further down the road.
Right.
But they still only have 6 picks. So
yeah,
they really got to be choosy on which way they go with the premium ones for sure.
But if Travis Kelce is going to take this one-way street, 1 year drive, you know what I mean?
All the way drive.
Got
the top down. He's got Taylor in the front seat. He's got his Chiefs uniform over his shoulder.
If we're gonna take it, man, I would say that's. If I'm the Chiefs and they met with him, I feel like, you know what I mean. Hey, Elijah could be a good fit, you know what I mean, to the wide. Use it like a
is he a first one guy in your eyes, Bo? If he was right there at 31, do you take him?
I say he's a third or fourth.
Easy there.
I got the real question here. This is where Hense's head might explode. Would you rather have Elijah Arroyo or Pitts from Atlanta?
Hey,
good one, Lou. Good one.
Come on, Tweety Bird. Give it up. Take your time.
To be honest, I would get Elijah, because they both look the same. If you look at the highlights,
what highlights you looking at?
They look the same. The speed, the agility, and everything, they look the same. So
but Pitts got more experience, man.
You can't just look at the good plays. It's great to watch like highlight reels of certain guys. Oh yeah,
it's a pretty small tape.
You gotta
it's not a long watch.
You gotta have some plays where maybe he doesn't do so well.
Yeah,
guys in the comment section, do y'all agree with Bo? Man, he said he's going off a flash from the senior bowl, right? He going off flash. Who would y'all pick, Pitts or Royal?
Yeah, the Kyle Pitts success tape is not that long.
Speaking
of a couple good catches. Oh, Royal.
Speaking of good catches, this guy, you know what I mean, the Chiefs met with today as well as Royals. Would that look good on the back of a jersey? Right,
yeah.
Mahomes to Royals, but the kid had a short, a college tape because he got injured, but he racked up almost 900 some yards, 6 or 7, 8, 9 touchdowns in 6 games.
Yeah,
that's a short.
I don't know
way
enough about him. I haven't scouted him, so I got to pass on this one.
So I would say, you know, I mean, the Chiefs met with him at the combine with him today. So hey, if I'm the Chiefs, he's good after the catch. After the catch, he's gone. You're not catching him.
He's a little under 1,000 yards, man. He's a little under 1,000 yards, about 800. But no, I mean, like I said,
what are his measurables, height and weight?
Yeah, he doesn't look very big in the picture.
Well, 6'1", he's 6'1". I think 6'1".
Wow.
Yeah, 6'1", 215, maybe like that.
Wow.
But again.
Really?
No, actually, he's 5'11".
Show the picture. He doesn't look that big.
5'11", sir. What? He's 5'11", but he's solid.
What do you got for weight? What do you got for weight, Coach?
Well, he's 6 foot. They said he was 6 foot though.
Well, on here, let me see what the weight, man. Because like Bo, I agree with you, Bo. I really do. He 210.
Did the
5'11", 210.
Did the wide receivers get measured and weighed yet officially, this week? I don't know for sure. That might be today. So that's wait for that. I'm just curious. He just didn't look very big in that picture.
Wait for the height and weight, sir.
Yeah, because a lot of guys, they're in the program. It's always a little inflated.
I'm watching some film on him right now.
He watching film.
He's got some Rashee Rice in him.
Yeah.
He had 1,000 receiving yards in 23 and a
800. He did 800 yards in 6 games, guys. Let that sink in.
He runs a lot. He runs a lot like Rashee Rice, to be honest.
800 yards. The yards you put off in 6 games.
Yeah,
he's not taking. But you can't bring that with you. Those stay at Utah.
I ain't bring my 6 games.
Those stay at Utah State. So the other part is, can he do all the things that the Chiefs
Can
want
he
to do?
duplicate that?
But the bottom line is, like I said before, I mean, every position group, they're going to be meeting with a ton of kids. So it's just, they got to do their due diligence with,
Sean Tate said we need a tall, speedy receiver.
If the guy,
man.
if that area scout is in Brett's ear and gives him a bunch of information, and Brett says, "Okay, let's bring him in," then they bring him in.
Right. Absolutely.
We'll see,
I agree with y'all. He got to be at least about 6'5", 6'6", man, with good speed, man.
Kyle Pitts. Come on.
Right, Kyle Pitts can go to he can be a receiver, Bo. He can be a receiver.
Savion Williams for TCU for me. So, yeah.
Oh, he is. He's like 6'5". You're right.
Right, do it. Let's do it.
A lot cheaper than Debo Samuel. That's for sure.
I saw the Chiefs met with the Mustangs. This part
Elijah Roberts is nice. He's nice.
Yeah, he is.
He's nice. Elijah Roberts is nice. He is.
That's Clark flexing his SMU muscles.
Yeah. See, but he is nice. But now that right there to me
worked out with
Rashee
Rice so far. We'll see.
Break him down, Coach.
Man, this dude Roberts right now, like his hands and quickness. The hands of quickness stood out to me, man. He just every down.
Did he work out yesterday? I don't remember that.
Elijah,
I don't know for sure.
Is he at the combine? I would imagine if they met with him. So did he? If he worked out, I just don't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't either.
Also, let's get this question right here, Nick.
Is Trey Harris too much of a 50-50 ball guy for us? Since we usually don't get those type of wide receivers,
I would say no. You know what I mean? I don't think he's being too much. But Trey Harrison is pretty good. But I just want to see what he's going to do at this combines when it's all said and done. What his numbers going to be? What he's going to what his vertical going to be? Everything like that. But again, you want to answer that question as well, Coach?
Well, we bring it up right here.
Trey Harris.
Trey Harris. Well, I ain't got a lot on Trey Harris right now. I ain't got a lot on Trey Harris, man, for real. But
now Mississippi's been pretty good in the past, with their wide receivers, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf.
They turned out pretty good.
Right. So, but the numbers tend to get inflated in Kiffin's offense.
Yeah.
And I don't know that again, it's more of a space thing. It's hard to tell because you really have to project. Can this kid run routes the way the Chiefs want him to run routes?
Right.
That's what they have to gauge. That's what they have to judge. And what he was doing at Mississippi may not necessarily be what the Chiefs ask him to do if they believe that he does have the quickness, burst, and can get separation and whatever they need him to do. So I think they're all in play. I wouldn't get too bogged down with style and so forth. It's really, can they project where they'll fit in the not so much fit in the offense, but can they play each of the positions? And if they put them in the slot, if they put them outside, wherever they put them, they do everything. You got to be, again, we talk about versatility with the running backs, a lot of versatility with the Chiefs receivers too.
Yeah.
Also they met with
think they're going to draft a tight end?
Yeah, this is a legacy. His dad was a receiver for the Dolphins back in the day. Really, I mean, this kid's pretty tough dude. He's big. They've used him at a wide receiver. They used him at tight end in Syracuse. Seems like he's been there forever. I don't know how many years.
Fifth year?
I don't know, but it's probably at least that long.
Yeah.
It seems longer. But
money's pretty good at Syracuse, I guess.
Yeah.
So
listen, like the Chiefs are really keen in on tight end. There's no question they're going to add one in this draft. And I think that's a good thing.
What round though, Nick? What round would you feel like the Chiefs?
It depends. Depends. I don't think first round, but I think second round or the top of the third. Probably be a good slot for. The last time the Chiefs had the top pick in the third round, they got Travis Kelce. So. Maybe the
hard to predict, especially before free agency.
Yeah, we don't really know yet. You're right.
Because if they get left tackle figured out, or at least they believe they get the left tackle that's going to be there for the season, and they kind of clean up what they want to do free agency with their own guys.
Right.
Then they can be a little bit more aggressive and selective with different positions. Whereas if they don't, they may focus a little bit more on the O-line earlier than if they don't, if they do get that filled.
We're going to know a lot in the next 10 days what the Chiefs offensive line is going to look like. I mean, obviously the Trey Smith situation's out there. DJ Humphries wants to come back. I've been told that by multiple people, that he wants to have a full off season and have a shot at being the starting left tackle next year. And I think the Chiefs probably would look into that pretty seriously at this point to kind of hedge their bet. They're committed to moving Kingsley inside. You know, I've also heard that they've considered moving Wanya Morris inside as well. Or, you know, maybe they put Taylor at guard and see what he can do and then try to find a right tackle. So I think all options are
right and left. Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I just think at this point, every option is open, but it all starts with Trey Smith.
Best five guys.
If I'm Patrick Mahomes, I want Trey Smith. I post that tweet. I call him up every single day. You're staying.
But who would he replace? I mean, if you got Tooney and Smith playing guard,
there's no guarantee Tooney's going to be here next year.
There's no room at the end. Hey, throw up King Mo's last
Mason
one
Taylor
again there.
We get into that. I had some more questions.
Mason Taylor, another legacy.
I got it.
This is Jason Taylor's kid. Played at
LSU guy.
And
again, good hands.
He's playing in an offense that has all pro wide receivers his whole time there, right?
That helps.
So, but you see him, you know, again at the Senior Bowl in a setting like this. When you see him work, if he works out this weekend, you're going to see some crazy stuff. Crazy athletic. I mean, I think he could be one of those that you get a little bit later and turns into something.
Lou, you ain't lying, because remember, Chiefs got a lot of weapons. Chiefs got good weapons, so he'd be a great addition, just like a Royal. He'd be a good addition because it's not like they're the go-to guys on this offense. So you put them in there, both guys can do work. They got good hands. They both good, good short-term route running. They can stretch the field when need to be, and they got good speed. So I like both of them. Why not? They're both about 6'7", 6'4", 6'5".
Let's go move to the defense. You know, they also met with Princely from Ole Miss. If you watched him at the combine yesterday, he had good numbers. You know, on the 40-yard dash, the cone drill, vertical. This kid, you know,
nasty.
I mean,
filthy,
freak of nature. You seen his highlights. I seen his game tape. This kid is Princely. You know, from Ole Miss. You know, if he's there, I can see he'd be there in about the third round, maybe. You know, if he, you know, after the combine, I can see him there in the late second round. You know what I mean? I think his numbers can rise up from there. You know, but Princely from Ole Miss, you know, I think he could, you know, fit in the Chiefs, fit with the Chiefs. If y'all seen his tape.
Yeah, I mean, he could certainly do damage, you know, an edge player, rotational edge player, and then see what happens with kid Felix. You got me. Felix is still developing. I think they have high hopes for him.
I think he'd have a good year this year.
Dana's got a couple of years left on his deal. We'll see what happens with Charles Amenahu. You know, if he comes back. A kid that was just so smooth yesterday. I put it in our group chat, and it's just confirming what everybody knew was James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. Everything he did just looked effortless. The hoop drills, the wave drill, everything, the 40, I mean, he didn't jump like extremely high, but high enough.
He didn't jump like Space Jam Mike.
And it matched his production at Tennessee. He was two-time first-team edge player in the SEC. I mean, that kid, I don't know if he would be like the guy that if he started to fall a little bit for some reason, that I think Brett might, you know, make that move up to go get him, because I think he'd be like an instant starter and game changer for this defense. Not to take anything away from Princely here.
Princely got 10 sacks though. He had 10 sacks, man. The man's a stud now.
Well, all these guys have done pretty well, right? I mean, to be considered in the first 2-3 rounds of the NFL draft, you got to be pretty damn good.
But who would you take? Would you take Porter? Or would you take Princely though, Lou?
If I had a chance to get Pierce, I would get him.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're looking for a pure edge player, it would be him for sure.
He's fast as heck, man. He's
now,
fast.
Dion Walker, a little bit bigger. I think I would prefer to go that route to kind of like groom to groom the next Chris Jones. Somebody like that. Guys that flash for me.
That's a clogger, boy.
I mean, I talked about Walter Nolan enough over the past 2 mock drafts, but TJ Sanders from South Carolina, Derek Harmon from Oregon, all these guys really, and they're versatile, so you can move them up and down the line. Whereas I think Pierce is more of an edge guy. Right. But one that was kind of off the board that I hadn't even heard of before, but he's an Egyptian play. He's an Egyptian player. He's an Egyptian player, played at Boise State. Ahmad Hassanin is like, 6'2", 267, ran 4.77. But the greatest thing to me is when they were doing the hoop drill and he came up for his turn and Chuck Smith, the pass rush specialist guy, he's like a teacher. He also coaches the defensive line for the Ravens, was kind of getting him hyped up. And he started shouting back at Chuck Smith, and they're kind of jawing back and forth before he takes his rep. It was awesome. But he'd be the first Egyptian player ever drafted in the NFL. He's only played football for like 4 or 5 years, and I mean, it looked amazing to me. I don't know how great a player he's going to be, but he did really well at Boise State, and he seems to have some want to, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, showing some pride. So that stood out to me.
Also, I'm gonna ask King Mo's question. He said, "What you think about the linebacker from Oklahoma?" I think he's pretty. I think he ran. He had a good. I think he had the best drills out of all the linebackers. You know what I mean? He's fast. If Nick Bolton decide to leave, I think if the Kansas City Chiefs, that will be his replacement. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. I mean, he watches game tape. He's always everywhere. You know, his cover skills are up there. So yes, all day long, I would take him as well.
He did a real good job with Kimmy Checks afterwards. I mean, he was like really affable. He kind of took over the microphone and doing the interview. So you can tell he's kind of that alpha dude that people will be attracted to.
So with that said, that was the questions I had for today. But the combine, it's gonna be I think it'll be wide receivers and running back.
Do y'all believe that speed makes a difference at linebacker position? Does speed raise your stock up playing linebacker?
The way the game is played now, those guys have to. You can't be those just as like they don't have the downhill running anymore.
Right? Yeah, those days are gone.
You got to have guys that can run sideline to sideline. Otherwise,
versatility is the name of the game.
Most teams, you only have 2 linebackers on the field at once. Sometimes they'll have like a safety playing that nickel linebacker. Depending on how their packages work out and what what kind of defense they're in. But the bottom line is, you got to be able to move. You got to cover. You got to come downhill.
Exactly.
And especially again, if this trend, if it is a trend, it's like just last year, more running backs being more featured. Those guys are going to have to do even more. I mean,
right.
And usually the way it sways is there's more wide receivers on the field. So you got smaller, faster guys out there on defense. So what are you going to do? Well, let's get some bigger guys running the ball. Let's get behind our big offensive line because they, and it just goes back and forth. It's cat and mouse. And then eventually, you have these changes in style.
A Canadian said total opposite of Bolton. So we're talking about total opposite of Bolton. He's a downhill thumper. So basically, everybody's saying versatility, man. Playing linebacker, got to be able to cover, be a downhill guy, and go sideline to sideline, basically, right? Makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Works for me.
Also, it's
see the ball, hit the ball, grab the ball, tackle the guy with the ball.
Hey, you got to tackle the guy. Hey, playing that position, but you got to, because like I said, there's a lot of good tight ends out here, and the guys and these scouts are looking for guys that can cover tight ends out the backfield, cover running backs coming out the backfield. So again, like them old school days, them big boys that can hit is over. These guys that can move. So hey, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So with looking at the with that statement, do the franchise tag been placed on Trey Smith, but do we see Nick Bolton walking, and are you see them Chiefs re-signing him and keeping him back, bringing him back as well?
I think Nick's going to stay. I think Trey's going to stay. I think Montagna, he was 50-50. He put another bizarre post up today about self-worth. So I'm not sure those contract talks have gone very strong.
Yeah,
I think there's I give the Chiefs a much better chance of retaining Hollywood Brown than I do that I think he's going to go to Buffalo. I think he's going to second guess that. To play with Patrick and Travis. And I think the Chiefs would be willing to maybe give him a 2-year deal. I would, if I was them, as kind of that insurance policy in case Rice, has a longer suspension than we think he might have. And I think that, and then that gives him an opportunity to draft another wide receiver in the draft. And I think they'd be in really good shape. I wouldn't bring Hopkins back unless Hopkins comes back on the minimum. But I think Brown, Bolton, and Smith are going to be the 3 guys from this class that they put all their efforts in, and Trey Smith being first and foremost.
Canadians say the draft is too deep to even pay Menahu. So a lot of people say it kind of.
Yeah, injury prone,
you
off the field issues. Yeah. He got a pretty good deal from the Chiefs. 2-year, $18 million. I think 12.5 was guaranteed, and it was a great deal for him. And I don't know if you can equate him getting a similar contract or not, from another team. So I think he's got to weigh in that too. And listen, I love Charles. He's one of my favorite Chiefs. I applaud his effort to get back on the field. I think he's a good personality, fits the locker room, it fits the scheme. But the priority is going to be Smith, Bolton, and I think Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, the injury really messed him because it took place so late last season and it took so long to get back. It's really hard for him to show like the small sample size to say, okay, you're all the way back. We're willing to pay you for the next 2 years, kind of projecting that you're going to be back to where you were.
Right.
Where if you can go younger, and if it's, he or Tershawn Wharton, I would imagine they would go younger and bring Turk back, try to bring Turk back, and then maybe draft one of these guys, because the defensive tackle group seems to be so deep this year. All the experts and so forth, the DJ, all the guys are out there, Mel Kiper, talking about how deep the defensive tackle and just D-line in general is this year, that I don't think they need to reach or overpay.
Right.
Now, yeah, we love Omenahu. We love what he brings, but, this is where the business takes over. And, if you're overspending now for your right guard, potentially one of your linebackers, it's going to be tough for him to get top dollar from the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think he's going to be tough to get top dollar anywhere, I think. That's just
absolutely.
Now, I think the Bills might be a team that might overpay for him.
Those teams would have the same argument, like, hey, you only played this many games.
He won't be the first phase of free agency, that's for sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This draft, the defensive line, like this year, is so deep. So, like you said, y'all, like the market for him is kind of is going to be very thin, because it's a lot of dogs coming out this year. So.
Also, Justin Reed, I would at least try to bring him back, because you don't know what you're gonna get Brian Cook, because I don't see them playing Brian Cook. The next year, or when his contract is up. So everybody, what the defense is gonna look like without Nick Bolton, right? Because because that's when he got injured, like Luke mentioned that when he got injured. We know how it looked. Drew Tranquil was there. They still played very well, but hey, if we bring we don't know what that secondary gonna look without.
We don't know it. We don't know squat yet. We can speculate all we want to.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. That's why we're Four Guys in a Bar podcast.
East, and that's why we're here.
So we'll see. I mean, how they plan on using Nazi moving forward, how they plan on using Shamari Connor moving forward. I think
we got to re-sign him.
will be a big factor in whether they bring Justin Reed back. If they don't feel like one of those guys can at least be a backup in that role, then you got to make a little bit more of a push to bring Reed back. But again, they're not going to go to top of market, and so it'll be up to him. Quality of life, winning, everything else.
Right.
Or do you just this is his last chance at really cashing in? You gotta consider that, if just for your own sake, your own financial security and your family and everything else. So.
Right.
This is going to be an exciting time. If by exciting we mean kind of nerve-wracking and anxious, then it's going to be an exciting time.
Yeah. And little sort of breaking news. I did receive a text, and according to one of my sources, in regards to Trey Smith, there could be some news over the weekend. So I'll leave it at that.
Or there could not.
Or there could be not news. Or there could be the news we don't want to know.
Hey guys, he said there's some guaranteed news coming this weekend. I'm just saying.
The text also says there were at least 3 teams that reached out to the Chiefs about a trade.
I would think, yeah. I mean,
he's Smith, but according to the source, it was not. They were not high draft picks.
Yeah, so he's
maybe the Bengals, might be my Cardinals,
just the top guard free agent. He
was Marvin Harris,
arguably the top free agent.
Yeah,
going into this season. So yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of.
Yeah, I don't even think the Bears the Bears 37 and 39th pick in the second round would be enough for Brett Veach. I think he's going to want more. And I'm not saying the Bears are one of those 3 teams.
And I'd be surprised if the Bears offered that. I think because there's enough other guards.
They don't have a lot of draft picks this year, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough other guards in free agency that they could even like stopgap it.
Yeah.
With
but the guy who was in on him being drafted,
if Dalton from Atlanta can play guard. I mean, even just on my list here, there's a bunch.
So basically, free agency is going to tell the tape going into the draft and free agency. Where do the Chiefs go in the LFA?
Yeah, and at the end of the combines, and next week we're going to start hearing a bunch of rumors and some things, and I think it's going to shape together. But I mean, this is the greatest time. I mean, the combines. Free agency. We don't have a lot of time to lament over the Super Bowl because we pretty much had about 10 days off, and then we started talking about the combine, and I think they'll conclude through Sunday, or is it Monday? Sunday. And Sunday, and
Sunday is offensive lineman,
and then the Chiefs will set their free agent board, put all their scenarios together, continue to work on the draft board. They will start setting up visit with college prospects. There'll be a lot of pro days coming up. So the Chiefs the Chiefs brass and the coaches are going to be out there traveling quite a bit.
Yeah, the schedule is a schedule, man.
The schedule, the main schedule comes out in the middle to end of May.
There's no timeouts.
There's no break.
They probably already have their free agent board set up.
Yeah,
they're putting their finishing touches on the draft board.
Hey, real quick, DS said, I really think the Chiefs may trade out of the first round.
I wouldn't be surprised for that either.
Yeah, they could.
You hear that, Bo? You hear that? The trade out of the first round.
If somebody really likes, say, like a Jackson Dart, right, or Will Howard, or somebody that just wants to come up and make sure that they get him at the end of the first round, and they offer, the Chiefs maybe their first next year and some other picks this year. You got to listen. You may have to actually be forced to do it too because of the lack of picks that you have, later on, especially if you've got a bunch of guys that are clustered. If you've got like 30 guys with relatively the same rating and they're on the board and you really don't have a preference, absolutely trade the pick and, get 2 of them. Right?
Yeah,
2 or 3 of them.
Hey, trade that goddamn pick. Hey, get more. Honestly, it's a smart move. You trade that pick and get more picks. You know what I'm saying? Then the Chiefs really remember, guys.
Not automatically. It depends on how the board.
You got to have another team. If one of the quarterbacks slips
have another bust
to the end, one of the quarterbacks slips down to the end of the first round, or one of the other position players and maybe a lineman or something like that, another team falls in love with. Chiefs can certainly take advantage if someone's willing to play ball with them. But again,
if Gordon falls to 31, hence what do you
I think the fact that the world beat up the Chiefs, that maybe Brett Veach might have a little easier time working with other GMs outside of Brandon Beane with the Bills.
Yeah, but
have the Bills learned a lesson, guys?
No,
I'll make a prediction in the draft right now that's almost guaranteed. no matter who the Eagles pick at 32, there will be an uproar of how in the hell did they let Howie Roseman get that guy?
Well, the Washington Commanders are trying to make sure that Myles Garrett does not go to the Eagles. And right now, the Eagles are willing to part with a couple of their free agent linemen
if that man go to
get
Eagles,
Myles
man,
Garrett. And
shit.
Howie Roseman is rocking now. After this year, his salary cap payments are all going to be due.
D-line, Howie. Well, they're going to lose some guys because you can't keep everybody.
They're going to lose 3 or 4 guys.
Milton Williams probably doesn't resign again because he'll probably get big dollars.
He deserves it.
Zach Bond. They only signed him to a 1-year deal, so he's a free agent. Josh Sweat is a free agent. One of the offensive linemen is, I don't know if it's
the Green Mile, the Green Mile guy, the one that handcuffed Chris Jones. Hense, I'm talking about
Mekhi Beck.
Yeah, Joe Boy, the Green Mile guy. He's a free agent, bro.
He's a free agent. Yep. So every team goes through this. They just happen to seem like they have an endless amount of linemen on both sides of the ball, and it just seems like, how'd they do that? O-line, D-line, Howie.
I don't think nobody would talk about the Eagles at the 49ers and have all those injuries. That's just me. I feel like nobody will be talking about it. Eagles will be irrelevant. You know what I mean? The 49ers was fully healthy. We will be talking about the 49ers.
I already put my foot in my mouth one time. I'm not doing it a second time, but I agree.
Well, here's the thing. But even if you go back to the division,
even though he's wearing a green hat,
the Rams, right? The Rams were green on the back. The Rams were just on the fringe of the red zone, going in for the winning score.
They should have won that game.
And it was your boy Lou Puka. Puka would have
he had the running back wide open in the flat. You watched the film. I watched it 7, 8, 9 times.
He
flipped the ball to him. He's got a touchdown at least.
But honestly, Puka was
getting at least open. A touchdown.
He just got
at least a first down.
What would be the most? Like run into the crowd and.
You know what I meant. Sorry, I was getting.
Let me ask
I got my words mixed up.
Hey, if the weather was better in that game, do y'all think the Rams beat the Eagles? If the weather was better,
I don't think the weather really played much into it. Actually,
Nick says yes.
I thought they played pretty well with it. If they could have blocked Jalen Carter, because that was why Matthew Stafford couldn't get the ball to the running back or Puka because Jalen Carter was in his face. And maybe if he wasn't, he does see the guy in the flat, or maybe he throws a better pass to Puka, and where maybe the Chiefs win a Super Bowl against the Commanders, right?
Man. But it's a good game.
Whatever happens over the weekend, Trey Smith is going to cash in from being a 6th-round draft pick. Yeah, but everybody said he had blood issues, or health issues.
He's going to be a rich man.
Now, speaking of which, how many teams you think are like concerned about the stress fracture in Abdul Carter's foot?
32.
Do you think so? I don't think it. I don't know that it impacts it. He may have had that fracture for years, and I think he said that he's opting for no surgery. Gonna do his pro day.
Would you do his surgery?
Gonna do his pro day at the end of the month.
Yeah. I think he got that fracture running into Exeter. From Minnesota.
Who is Exeter, Minnesota guy? You talk to him, Bo. Talk to him.
I think that's what happened when he got swerved all around.
He got the swerve treatment.
He got the swerve treatment for
that swerve.
Oh my, you guys!
Hey, picked him up by his pads and got to talking to him in the car and told you, my boy, you're not coming after my quarterback. I tell you that shit. No, but honestly though, like them bowl games, them one-on-one drills, those to me is more than the combine, because you see these guys really at their position dominating and showing they will. So again, your boy from Minnesota, he is nice.
Anytime they're playing actual football, that's going to be weighed a hell of a lot more heavily. I think the combine just really shows maybe just how athletic somebody can be, and maybe you get to see them do some things that you didn't see them do in college, and gives you a little bit better idea of how versatile they are and where you can play, and does he fit in our system, because we'll have him doing something totally different. Right. So, but yep. Real football always trumps.
Real football, Lou.
Before we close out, who's going to be this year's Puka? You know what I mean? Who's going to be this year's Puka that nobody's talking about right now?
Peck, TCU. Peck, man, my guy Peck from TCU, man.
Okay, it's Jack Besh, and I think he's rated like one
of the top. Peck, hey guys, excuse me.
I think he's rated in the top 10 receivers by I think Mel and some other guys. So I don't know that would be that much of a surprise. Because Puka, I don't know. I mean, Puka, that just came out of left field. That was just nowhere to where he was from BYU his last year, and then whatever he did at Washington prior.
It could be on either side of the ball, defense,
to like being one of the top players in the league. That's just, I don't know. I don't want to say dumb luck, but it's pretty lucky to get him in the 5th round.
Yeah, man. Again, I never know.
Who will be your guy, Luke?
You know what? I kind of like, again, this kid from USC. The running back, the one I mentioned earlier, Woody Marks, that could be a guy, because I don't think he's that highly regarded draft wise, but I think he can do some damage if he gets on the right team.
Nick, who you have? I think he's muted. But if I had to choose somebody, it'd be Savion Williams, man. I think
he did it on purpose. He set that up on purpose, boy. He set that up on purpose. Go ahead,
he had to be. I want to see him kill it at the combine, but I think his stock will go rise after that. But you know what I mean. He said,
right. You're right, Lou. Josh Beck. His name. I said Peck. Yeah, Josh Beck.
King Mo said wide receiver from Miami. I think
Xavier Restrepo. We'll see.
What your thoughts on him, Lou?
He put up huge numbers. I think he has more catches and yards than anyone in Miami history. Now, I'm sure he's played a lot more games. He's been there longer than, going back to Michael Irvin, Andre Johnson, and all those guys, Randall Hill, and you can just go down the list. There's been plenty other, Santana Moss. There's been a bunch of guys. So he put up bigger numbers than that. I think we'll see. We'll see athletically how he tests, and I think that'll show a lot more in terms of that. But he could be one of those guys.
Hey, real quick, King Mo's Trey Harris is the stuff. My bad, y'all. I'm asking King Mo question from earlier. Yeah, Trey Harris is as good. Is from Ole Miss. He is good. He's like 6'3", big body guy. Somebody that the Chiefs do need. Besides your boy Williams, though, I know Williams 6'5", elite talent. I know who he is. I did my research.
All right. I'm doing the crystal ball. It's my football, my crystal football.
Wow.
Undrafted from the University of Kansas, 6'5", Quentin Skinner.
Here we go.
Quentin Skinner will
right there. Hey, edit that.
Quentin Skinner will be the it guy.
Chalk Jayhawk.
He is a phenomenal talent. Was injured a little bit last year. 6'5". He's got size. He's got hands. He's got strength. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby. They've got three receivers. None of them got invited to the combine. Wow. And I think all three of them are going to be undrafted free agents. But Quentin Skinner in a Chiefs uniform as a let's root for this guy kind of pick.
DS said the same thing. He said, he liked him. He liked the wide receiver from KU too. Oh no, he better not be a sleeper because people know about
Don't pay T. Higgins $30 million. Pay Quentin Skinner $255,000 signing bonus. I'm at rock and roll.
We're gonna be Justin Ross all over again. Huh?
He might be that low. He might be.
Really?
Do they still do that local combine like in the Kansas, Missouri, like all?
No, they just do. Kansas has their own pro day.
Well, really? No, I know, but don't the Chiefs have like something where they bring in like the local products? Where they have like an
they don't do that. I don't think they do that anymore.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick though, DS is really like KU got some dogs, man.
Yeah, they got
some dogs, man. They got a good offensive line play. They got some good receivers, good running back. The defense is underrated. Everybody know about Kobe Bryant, but they got some dogs over there in KU. KU stepped up.
They had 23 seniors graduate, and 16 of them played a lot of minutes.
Damn.
So we'll see.
In KU.
We got to get out of here. I missed about an hour.
I got an appointment. I got to roll.
I got an hour's worth of 40 dashes to catch
An hour worth of speed.
Don't forget Monday. I'll have my top 10 cornerbacks.
Oh hell yeah,
time.
nigga, you ain't escaping because I'm like over Dion. That's crazy.
All you guys, all 15,000 of you guys that was talking that nonsense on the highlight of the the offensive tackle from Minnesota. I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying he's a raw talent. I'm just saying
pick you up and he'll look you dead in your eyes, man, and give you the business, man.
So
I think I told you, if you have any respect for Mel Kiper, his mock 2.0, he had him going to the Chiefs at 31.
Mel
Kiper.
Who is Mel Kiper? We ain't Mel Kiper, man.
Well, I'm saying we're not. I'm saying there are at least somebody out there.
Hey, shout out to Mel Kiper. I love Mel Kiper too, by the way.
He's been doing it for 47 years or whatever.
Yeah,
he's doing something right.
Yeah. So let's just say let's get a resale before we close out, guys.
All right, let's do it.
You want to talk about our new sponsor, Resell Electronics. They buy and sell all of your consumer electronics. For more information, we're going to roll tape. Run it.
Save big on the hottest electronics. At Resell Electronics, we offer the best deals on new and pre-owned TVs, game consoles, cameras, plus so much more. With 2 convenient locations along Noland Road in Independence, stop by and visit us today.
That's right. Resell Electronics, 2 great locations, Noland Road and 40 Highway in Independence. If you're looking to buy or sell any of your personal consumer electronics, they are your one-stop shop. You walk in, you tell them the guys at Chiefs Blitz and Bowtie Sports sent you, and they'll give you a 10% discount. Check out their website at resellwithac electronics.com.
Resell. That's right. Resell Electronics. We want to thank them and Underdog as well. And make sure when you go to underdogfantasy.com, you put in the code Chiefs Blitz. Follow us everywhere. Right there on the right is a button to subscribe. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody on board today, and we'll be reposting the show on our social media sites as well. So you all have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll have some news, maybe a breaking show over the weekend. You never know. But for Hense Todd, Lou Montagna, and Coach Andre Tillman, peace out, everybody.
Let's
Peace
go.
out. Prime time, always the best DB. I can't believe you're not.